It's Enigma. It's Enigma. Here he comes. It's Enigma. It's Enigma. It's Enigma. It's Enigma. Here he comes. It's Enigma. It's Enigma. It's Enigma. It's Enigma. Here he comes. It's Enigma. It's Enigma.
March, the box heads ride under Enigma steel command, with cardboard crowns upon our eyes. We fight as one across the land.
Glory to the boxhead state. We serve the box, we seal our fate.
One voice, one will, one mighty plan.
All hail the Enigmaman.
Drums of war and brass proclaim his wisdom, fire, and silent name. No tyrant stands, no traitor flees. We crush dissent beneath our knees.
Glory to the boxhead state. March in line and carry weight.
One fist, one truth, one cardboard brand.
All hail Enigmaman. No freedom lies beyond the box. No path but through the ticking clocks. Enigma sees, Enigma knows. The cardboard tide forever grows.
Raise the flag and bang the drum. The age of boxheads has begun. One dream, one box, one iron plan.
All hail the Enigmaman.
Well, hello there. It has been a long time since I've seen any of you. Hello, welcome in. Hello, hi. Hello. We're streaming. We're going to do a stream today. I'm going to run you through exactly what we're going to be doing today. We are currently in Central Park here on Randomcraft, and if I press F1, you can see I am in admin mode because I'm not actually going to be doing any Let's Play stuff today because I want to show you what has been going on in Randomia since the last time I left. Now, I'm aware that a few weeks ago, whilst I was preparing to come back and do a little tour of things that you may not have seen, that Dolan actually was ahead of the curve, as he normally is, with his road behavior, and already did like a little world tour around Randomcraft. However, he did miss many things. I don't know whether that was intentional because he knew that I was going to be returning, or whether he was just in Dolan mode and forgot. You know, it happens. So I figured what we'd do is we're going to start off here. I'm going to show you some of the things I've been working on, because although I've not been recording, I've not been streaming, I've not been doing any of the stuff because I've been in dad mode for a long time. I have actually been logging in and doing stuff here and there. So I want to show you what I've been up to. I also want to show you what other people have done from my perspective. So that, and I'm going to be brutal. If any randoms tune in, please don't take any offense to anything I do say. I swear I'm going to be polite, but I will point out little bits because there's things that I need to fix. Not things that they have done necessarily, but things that do need to be fixed. I'm just going to set the time back to being day. So there's a few bits that need to be tidied up here and there, and I'm going to go over the plans for that. I'm also going to go over the plans for a new thing that we're doing. Hey, Mine Hero, how's it going? I'm also going to go over some plans for the future of Randomcraft. And then once we've done all of that, we're going to jump over into a single player, into my build world. I'm going to share some build tips, some build secrets. I'm going to show you how to get the most perfect roads. I'm aware this season, and I will open up the map, many randoms have struggled with roads. Dolan aside, Dolan's roads have been lovely. But many randoms have struggled with roads. As you can see up here with Peanut's area, she struggled. Magic struggled, I know, a hell of a lot with roads. I know it drove Lag Monster nuts with roads, and we completely reworked his area. And then Shalon has struggled with roads, and I have helped him completely rework this area. I'm not done over here yet. This is the area I'm currently working on, is this area down here. And Maisie also has struggled with road. It's been a thing. I think even Creamsicle, who's a great builder, I think this S road here, I ended up assisting her with a bit because it's a difficult shape. But I'm gonna explain in single player and show you how to get really nice looking roads that work, that don't feel iffy. We're also going to do that, and we may also do some cyberpunk sci-fi builds as well, because I need to prepare for future videos, so I figured I would just stream going through some of that as well. But what I want to do first is just show you around Central Park. Central Park's not changed a massive deal. There is a little portal over here, just there. We're going to go through that in a bit, and I'm going to show you some fun stuff. But before I do any of that, I'm going to go around this world. Magic has actually been in this whole area in Central Park because I asked him very politely to perhaps think about doing some armor stands over here to make it look like there was people actually in Central Park, and he's been doing that. So we have this like really awesome picnic thing over here that he did. This he'd already done. This is something he'd done previously. We can ignore that. It's still fantastic, but we can ignore that. But they're littered around the place. All over is little armor stand work that he's done. I know there's like a couple over here that are about to leave the park, and I think there's somebody fishing, if I remember correctly, over here. Yeah, look at this. I love this type of stuff. Now, Magic wouldn't mind me saying this. Magic is not the best builder ever. But what he is great at is armor stands. And this thing is fantastic. This is, I think he's using either a concrete, but it's moving up and down too fast. It's either a concrete block or a wall block, red wall block. And if you look down there, there is some soul sand. So it's creating a bubble column, and it's on an invisible armor stand. So you get this like motion, like the fishing bobber is going up and down. I love that type of stuff. Anything that adds to the vibe is always fantastic. I think there's a hot dog stand somewhere as well with people at it, but I can't remember. Oh, over here. Yeah, he did some stuff over here as well, a hot dog stand with people buying the hot dogs. So this area, I don't think he's done yet over here at all. I think there's still a lot more that he wants to do over here. But I love Central Park. Central Park this season, for anybody that isn't aware, is something that all the randoms did together. Dolan, who became mayor, where none of us are happy about that. None of us were happy about it. Actually, I was really happy about it. But that's just me. But he decided on the theme. So he said Central Park in autumn, in fall. And that's what we did. So all the randoms got together. We did a bunch of trees. We sculpted the land. And yeah, that's like one of my... I absolutely love this place. Since the last time I made a video... So, anybody who watches 𝗕𝗢𝗚𝗚, and I think quite a lot of people that do watch my stuff do watch 𝗕𝗢𝗚𝗚, my science bro. I know he has not been around for a long time, the same as me. Hopefully he returns at some point, because I do genuinely miss seeing how great his builds are. And we used to have a lot of stuff going backwards and forwards where we would like... He would have an idea, I would build on that idea, he would then build on my idea, so we progressed a lot together. And that was always great, so it would be really awesome. I missed the trailer park build area, it was so unique. I will go over there today. I will actually head over. Because I too love the trailer park area. I loved a lot of the stuff that we did over there. So 𝗕𝗢𝗚𝗚 made these 3 builds here. Which is the EIS building, the Color Emporium, and Randocola. But then he left. And obviously, oh yeah, I don't know if I've shown any of this either. So anyway, I have been doing a lot of builds here to build all of this area up. Some of these Shalon did. We worked together a bunch. It was a lot of fun to do. Maisie did a build over the other side as well. But yeah, I did the Random Times newspaper building. We have some like posters down here. I redid the head shop. I don't know if I've shown that. So that got completely redone. Hey, with a golem, how's it going? Hope you're good, man. I missed 𝗕𝗢𝗚𝗚 so much. I hope he comes back maybe next season. Well, speaking of seasons, we're going to come to that in a short while. So do stick around, because I'm going to be given a lot of information on seasons. We also have the market hall. There's some Spitfire planes up there. Then we've got a bunch of apartments and stuff. The Mover Shaker, all of this glorious stuff. And then we have this entire road. Ignore all of this. This is me preparing for more builds. So we have some graffiti, some Arbok graffiti up there. So all of this road here, the old bank. So all of this is stuff that I have been doing whilst I've been away, essentially. Like I say, I've not really been away. I just haven't been doing content. And, you know, I needed dad breaks, but I wasn't able to sort of hit record. Down here, a lot of these don't have interiors yet. See? They're great, just don't look inside them. However, this one down here, a lot of the randoms, you won't see this on any of the streams of. The only person that would show this on a stream or in a video other than myself is probably 𝗕𝗢𝗚𝗚. Because 𝗕𝗢𝗚𝗚, like me, doesn't care about stuff. But here we have the Sin House, and the Sin House is a strip club. So if we just go inside, actually, let me turn my BGM off for a second on stream, because this place does have music that actually plays. So Magic came in, he did a bunch of armor stand work. I told him it was a strip club, and because they're armor stands, we do have like a pole dancer, like a naked pole dancer there, but because they are an armor stand, it's just the actual armor stand itself. So, you know, it's not overly adult, but we have people, you know, up to no good in here that he's done, and people throwing diamonds and so on. So this place I really love, and with shaders on, with shaders on in here looks majestic. In fact, let's just do that for a moment. Hopefully, so 26.2 with some stuff is a little bit glitchy. We updated the server to 26.2. I say I updated the server to 26.2. Then I found out that 26.2's got a few problems. in relation to mods. That's on me. I apologize to the randoms profusely. So hopefully it won't lag too much. Okay, there we go. So this is what we look like with the shaders on. I'm absolutely love this place. Yeah, see, like this blurry vision. This is a glorious 26.2. Enjoy the cataracts. There we go. You should board some up and make it look like it's purposefully empty. Yeah, that's an idea to sort of make some look like they're either for sale or empty. Here we have a door that goes upstairs. I'm not going to take you in any of the rooms because obviously some of this stuff is, you know, but at some point I'll maybe do like a member only video for YouTube members, and on that I will do a deep dive in this place and I will explain some of the other things that probably aren't too safe to share on a regular stream. But there is a ton of stuff in here. Magic did so much awesome work. It's a very seedy place. But yeah, I was super happy with that. It's actually inspired by when 𝗕𝗢𝗫𝗚𝗠 was joining Randomcraft. He had done a similar thing, and it was something that we it sounds strange to say we bonded over. It's something that we both enjoy, trying to make something feel like it's dynamic and believable. So in something like a cyberpunk or a diesel punk setting where it is quite a seedy thing, trying to show as much of that as possible is kind of important. 𝗕𝗢𝗫𝗚𝗠 understands that really, really well, fantastically well. He did something and I really loved it, and I was like, I'm going to try and take that to another level. So I did that inside there. Let's turn the shaders back off for now because I don't want to lag absolutely everywhere. A lot of this is spawn proof, but some of it is not, I'm sure. So down here we have the theater. This is something that 𝗕𝗢𝗫𝗛𝗠 was building, but Magic did more armor stand work. So as you can see up here, if I go into spectator, look at all these armor stands. Magic is a wizard. So he did all of this. Yeah, you can see. Fortunately, we shouldn't be affected by these things. And then we have the car park. And then over here we have 𝗥𝗔𝗡𝗖𝗓𝗏. 𝗥𝗔𝗡𝗓𝗏 is sort of our little Chinatown area on Randomcraft. So, let's put our EGM back on now. There we go. So this was originally started by Lag Monster, hence the name 𝗥𝗔𝗡𝗏. Lag plus 𝗥𝗔𝗡𝗏. 𝗥𝗔𝗡𝗏. We're very creative in Randomcraft. So we have, similar to over at Waterside, we have a little Wang's ramen stands. We have a 𝗥𝗔𝗡𝗚𝗏 energy drink place, which I haven't done an interior for. There's a sign there that just says 𝗥𝗔𝗡𝗚𝗏 interior. We have some vending machines. One's out of order. We have some, what are they called? Like vending machines, like little gaming machines. We have another little bar over here, a food mart, a florist's, and then we have a sushi stand with sushi on conveyor belts, which is going at hyper speed. It's fast sushi. And then we have our trinket store, which, you know, we can go inside of. A lot of decor and stuff in here that I've done. Oh, look, it's me and Lag Monster as a picture. And some more vending machines there. And then we have the Odd Box, which I think is a curiosity shop. Then round this side we have a bookstore, and then the Puppets mask store. I did the build, Magic did the interior. So if we go inside, we've got all of the devil masks and stuff, and then you can order armor stand work from Magic in here, which is awesome. By the way, I have got a question. Are the graphics in the 𝗥𝗥𝗚𝗏 machines map art or custom paintings? I think they're map art, actually. I did them before we did... Yes, they are map art. I did those before we did fusion reactor before Shalon and I rebuilt fusion reactor. For anybody that's not aware, fusion reactor is a custom resource pack that we have on Randomcraft for stuff. So if I go in here and talk to one of these two gentlemen, you can buy like a hat that's got Lag Monster's thing on. You can buy the trash hats from the trailer park, which we are going to go over to in a short while. You can buy my beret, my captain's hat, a top hat. You can buy a Random Land hat, a bunch of other stuff. There's lots and lots of little cool custom things that we've added here over the past sort of year or two. Kind of want to yoink those and expand the brand. I will try and find out which map dat file they are, because I think you can export map dats from them correctly. It's been a while, don't hold me to that, but I'm pretty sure. So that there is 𝗥𝗔𝗡𝗘𝗖𝗞. This here is the area that one of the areas I've been working on. Then we have obviously the redstone shop. Everyone's seen that at this point. Cream slime shop. We're going to go over there in a moment, but first before we do that, we're going to head over to Waterside. I haven't done anything at Waterside. I'm going to level with you all. I've not done anything in Waterside. Waterside hasn't changed at all since the last time you saw it in a video, and the reason for that is because I've been working everywhere else, absolutely everywhere else but here. I will come over here and finish all of this area off, but we have the 𝗕𝗢𝗚𝗏𝗡 airship here, and I think in my second to last video I was like, oh, we'll do a stream and we'll do the interior of the 𝗕𝗢𝗚𝗏𝗡 and it'll be beautiful and majestic and fantastic and glorious. And then yeah, and then my wife got pregnant, so I did not do that, but we will at some point return to all of this. And we have all of this stuff at Waterside that we have to do over here, so I have not done anything over here. I do apologize. And then we go on to creamsicles. Now, this area here, this expanse, I'm going to have to put some trees down. So much detail in the water. It's such a beautiful little area. Yeah, it's one of my favorite bits, Gollum, before I go to creamsicle. Like, it was inspired by seaside towns that I lived in the UK. So places like Morecambe, for example, those old seaside towns that were like in their heyday in like the 1900s, 1920s, and then fell off hard. So we have like our fish and chips place here, and if I go inside here, there is actually like, you know, we've got our menu, we have our things of oil and, you know, newspaper wraps, fish and chips and stuff, and pickled eggs and things all in here. So eventually I think I did have some villagers in here to serve food, but I don't know where they went. They must have died, as all good villagers do. And then, yeah, we got Flick and Lickum ice cream. So yeah, it's all inspired by that. And then we have Cream's base. Now, Cream's base is lovely. It has this like really nice dark academia look to it. And it's really, really nice with shaders on. I'm not going to do that. But it's still nice without, you know, it's fine. So over here, there's a few things that I have to fix. So one of the issues with Creamsicle's base, as beautiful and majestic as it is the other side. She hasn't blended it, which is fine. That's something that I am more than happy to do. But like, there's no trees or anything. The backs are very, you know, it's monolithic almost from the back, because there's no like detailing stuff on the back because there was no need to. But what I can do is I can put some trees in, and all of that types of, you know, just to add, because I think I'm pretty sure this mountain is entirely fake, if I recall. So there was no way to put trees there before. Max landscape. This baby can fit so many trees. It's been my entire season essentially is kind of just terraforming and doing landscaping on what. But yeah, so this is Cream's base, and there's some fantastic, like I think it's like her university build over here is really, really pretty. Cream has this really great skill of getting a lot of intricate shapes that my brain, if I was trying to do it, would go, that looks dumb. And I'm not saying it looks dumb, but my brain would say, don't do that, that looks wrong. And she does this really good job of making stuff that I think is very unconventional work super well. Like, for example, this build, there is stairs going into stairs, like this. So we end up with these overhangs. And if I was to be doing that in like a building session, my brain would go, this is the dumbest idea ever. And I would stop before I commit fully. And it wouldn't look as good. And she's really good at doing that type of stuff, just very unconventionally minded, which I really, really enjoy with Cream's build. She does a fantastic job with a lot of these things. It's the same with this build here. I think it's this build here. It looks fantastic, but it is the skinniest boy. And my brain wouldn't allow me to do. I would have ended up having to push it out. I think because of my LLI, I think my brain just wouldn't allow it. And it works, and there's no reason to not do it this way. And it saves time and looks really good and is clean. And that's like the best thing. I just really, really, really enjoy it. And with shaders on at night, especially when she decorated it for Christmas, oh, it was lovely. Really, really, really lovely. I love the market area. There is a little bit of, where's her church? It's over here, right? There is a little bit of armor stand work that was done. I don't remember where her church is. There it is. So I don't even know whether this was ever shown in any of Cream's videos, but she made this really cool graveyard. And I said to Magic, I want you to go over there and surprise her. So I paid Magic some diamonds in game to come over here. So he put like some grave robbers in here and this like demon crow thing and stuff to surprise her. Yeah, he did just to add a little bit of life in it because it looks lovely. I just wanted to add a little bit of something in there, so I was like, Magic, go do this to Cream. But yeah, really, really nice area, super nice area. She also has the theater. I think they're showing the Nutcracker in there. I'm not going to go in there because there's that trap bit and it will deafen me, and I hate that sort of thing. But yeah, really, really, really awesome. I just need to add some trees in along the back and stuff like that, just to blend it, so that, because like from over here at 𝗕𝗓𝗛's base, you don't get to see how nice Cream's base is on the inside. And that's like a thing that I want to sort. Now we have the town hall and the bridge. Everyone's seen the town hall. It's not changed. I'm not going to go in there. It's fine. Then we have Silver's base. I don't know why he has a big ass pumpkin farm. Just big ass pumpkin farm. He's doing something. He's probably preparing for something. If you watch Silver stuff, Silver, I would say Silver's probably the best builder, I think, in Randomcraft this season. I know Star was saying he really loved Cream's base. But Silver's has got some of the most detail I think you will see. The Church of the Bee God. I broke his heart with this build a little bit. It's a fantastic build, but I questioned why it would be in the shape of a cross, which is a Christian thing, if it was for a bee and not in the shape of like a beehive or something. But he'd already built it. That's my fault. I could have been like, but it does have these really beautiful bee motifs that are on there. And we have the bee god down here. And it's beautiful inside. I mean, just so nice. Now, technically, it's not a church, given the fact that it has these cloisters. It's more of an abbey. But Abbey of the Bee God doesn't sound as good as Church of the Bee God, so it's a church. But yeah, Silver Space again at night with shaders on. It gives me the sort of Ghostbusters vibes when the city, I can't remember if it was in Ghostbusters 1 or 2, when I think it might have been the second one, right, with the slime, where it sort of acted like as like a corrupting agent, and like anything it touched became like this dark version. That's what Silver's place reminded. It's like if New York was hit, just had a ton of that slime dumped on it, and I really love it. It's really, really cool looking. Also, Silver, I would say his game area, which I will take us over to, is one of the coolest things I think I've seen in Randomcraft, period. And that's like over half a decade now of doing stuff. It's genuinely really awesome. Yeah, so Silver's glass trees are really... I mostly love the way he does his roofs. The one thing I will say about... I don't know how safe his area is. I'm just going to do that. One thing that I will say I absolutely love about the way that Silver builds is he builds modular. And to explain that, what he does is he builds the exterior, and then he does his interior. I wonder if I go into spectator, what I can actually show. Yeah. So rather than actually like trying to like fit an interior into the shape, he carves it up. So this room here, you know, you'll never know that that's not part of the building technically. You know, they're like these little sections that he builds. And it works super well. It's such a different way than the way the line build. I tend to almost architecturally map it, you know, mentally, not physically, because who's got time for that? But from the outside, look, you wouldn't, you know, you wouldn't know that it's not, you know, an all-in-one build, so to speak. But it's so good, so well done. It does mean there's a lot of dead space in here. I do think he does plan on adding the rest of the modules in bit by bit. One thing, if Silver, if you end up tuning in at any point today and you end up rewatching this or anything like that, one thing you could do is get some of your viewers to come up with modules for the inside. That would be kind of cool to see as well, just to speed that up. So that there is Silver's base. Really, really cool. And then if we come over here and we go through the tunnel, we go through to 𝗲𝗏𝗔𝗗. 𝗲𝗏𝗏 this season is doing... Oh, yeah, the nether portals are really cool. There was just this issue with them once he'd done them. Obviously, they became a piglin farm. Like, very quickly. They became a zombie piglin farm. So I think he ended up having to make, like, a zombie piglin, you know, like with the turtle egg on the nether side, so that it stopped them. So when they came through and they would wander backwards and forwards, that would kill them. I think he has one on this side as well to remove them, because otherwise when you went to his base there was like 20 or 30 zombie piglins just chilling out. So 𝗲𝗏𝗏 is doing like an industrial revolution place, this sort of thing this season. And he has really struggled with it. He's been from Nevada. It's not really a thing that he is used to. So I've been over here sort of helping him. I've started sort of doing these 2 up, 2 downs. He did a lot of them. I'm just going back through and finessing them. 2 up, 2 downs, for anybody that's not from the UK, factory housing. They were called 2 up, 2 downs because they had 2 rooms downstairs, 2 rooms upstairs. 2 up, 2 down. See, logic. It's just logical. So that's what these are. These are factory housings. And what had happened is these big company factory owners during the Industrial Revolution, they would make these big factories, and then they would build houses for the factory workers, and then they would build schools for the factory workers' children. So it was like very capitalist. Very, very capitalist. Some factories would even pay their factory workers in a made-up currency because the factories also owned the shops. They weren't giving them real money, they were giving them this fake money, which then the factory workers couldn't ever leave. It was essentially entrapment, it was slavery. But they could still buy bread and milk, quote unquote, because that shop would take them, but nowhere else would. Because it wasn't real money. I don't know whether that's a vibe he's going to go with, or whether he's going to go with more of a legitimate thing. But yeah, that's this area. There's not much to it. It did look very different. So this whole bit, I've completely reworked the roads with him, and we reconnected it to Maisie's. So I'm just going to teleport over here, and we've got this bridge. Maisie originally made this bridge, but it was straight, so I've reshaped it so that it comes down, and then we go to Maisie's area. I think Maisie may be the most impressive random this season, because, and let me explain my thinking here, alright? When we look at Creamsicle's base size, you know, it's sort of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, let's say 12 chunks, and probably, I'm going to say probably about 18 this way. And everybody's got about the same. I've got all of this here and this here, but combined, it's probably roughly maybe a tiny bit bigger than Cream's base area. Dolan's up here. But we've been here since the start of Season 3. Maisie didn't join until like a year and a half ago. And she's managed to get as much done as Cream, or me, or Dolan, or Silver. She's got more done than Shallan, and has been here like half the time. And she does so much other stuff as well, other than Randomcraft. So just super cool. And she was doing this sort of it's sort of like a old Germany, I think, if I recall correctly. I may have that wrong, and I do apologize if I have, but I'm pretty sure it was like this old Germany vibe. And all down here, it's not the best looking at it from the sky because of how busy it is, but it's designed obviously to be looked at on the ground. So let's just go into, but like these cornfields, just it reminds me a lot. Anybody that's been around Randomcraft for a while, it reminds me a lot of Emerald Outpost from Season 2, Shallan's Emerald Outpost. There's always something for your eye to see. Just always. It's super like cluttercore, if anybody knows what that is. It's very cluttercore. And just really cool looking. Really enjoy over here. It's a really relaxing vibe. Maisie's base. Really like the vines on the roof. I'd have probably done less on them, just a little bit, just a tiny bit less of them, just so when you're up in the air from the ground you don't notice it at all anyway, but from the air there's a lot of green vinage. But I've probably done slightly less of that for me personally, but still looks super cool. Yeah, really nice area. I don't know which builds she's done interiors of, so I can't really show you much of that. Now let's go up and around. I think the next place that I'd like to show is Dolan. I know Dolan shows his stuff off a lot. However, Dolan isn't me. And I have my own thoughts and opinions on Dolan's builds. No, genuinely, don't read anything. Oh, yeah, this is a new area. Shallan's currently been over here. So Shallan recently went to Italy on a trip and really enjoyed his time in Florence, and decided when he got back that he would like to do a Little Italy to sort of complement 𝗥𝗔𝗡𝗔𝗏. So this is Little Squiddly that he is working on. He's got all of it laid out, I see now, and he's sort of working on this. These are proposed heights for those builds. But over here we have Dolan's. This is what Dolan was doing at the start up here of Season 3. Fantastic, but there's better to come. Dolan's whole area, I love. I genuinely love. He's done such a good job. I am, without sounding soppy, wet, silly, super proud of Dolan. Genuinely super proud of Dolan. He took every bit of advice, every bit of knowledge he could. I mean, anybody that's watched his streams, bro has been super dedicated to roads and infrastructure this season. And from like down here, this downtown area is super cool. It's so nice. I really love it. And I love it because not only does it look nice, it's accurate. Really, really accurate. Like he has looked at so much stuff, and he asks for feedback a lot. Look at the crossing. Look at it. It's just really cool. It's just really cool. But I was really, really sad when I came on and looked. Because when I returned from sort of dadding so much, I hadn't been paying attention. I had been doing some builds, but I really wasn't doing a lot of paying attention to what other people had done, what people have been doing. I've not been watching streams because obviously I was in dad mode. I'd just been sort of hyper focusing on just getting the little build bits done elsewhere. So when I properly sort of was like, okay, I'm going to be returning. I'm going, you know, baby's old enough now. She's a toddler. I decided to come over and look at Dolan's. And I love it. Genuinely, I really love it. If Dolan ends up seeing this, I don't tell the randoms. I genuinely don't say to the randoms that much. I'm not like, you did such an amazing job on this. And I never say things like I'm really proud of how far, but Dolan's progress. Like, look at this, right? Just look at this, even this little section alone. Look at how at this is where he's now at. And then you come, don't get me wrong, these are still nice builds, but the progression is huge. And that's because he really did listen to advice, and he watched and learned and figured stuff out. I know I think there's like graffiti down here that he like watched. Yeah. One of my tutorial videos on doing graffiti on, and then did like some of his own twists on it. Just really, really cool. But as I was saying, I was sad because I came down this road, beautiful road, really, really awesome, genuinely really awesome. And I got to the intersection, love all of this, right? Super beautiful, super cool. And then I looked this way, and it was just blank, because it went onto Lag's area, and Lag basically sort of gave up his area. So from what where he was originally placed, he hadn't done anything. So beyond this bamboo was empty. It was just a void. And I wasn't upset with Lag Monster, don't get me wrong. He has his personal life, he has got his own things going on. That's fine. Everybody knows how much I love Lag. But it just upset me with like, oh man, that's such a letdown. Like, because Dolan's area is so cool, and I love it so much. So, me being me, I was like, you know what? Screw doing these small builds. So I came over and I have started basically just doing... So these skyscrapers here, these ones I'm still working on. The cinema, the Spike, as I have called it, which is based off the Shard in London. We'll get to you down there in a moment. You be quiet, you. So I started doing all of this. And there's some more builds over here. This one here, the one with the L on it, that is a hotel that me and Lag worked on many moons ago, before Randomcraft even started. That he did like a block update on, and then yeah, I've got it in the world. But yeah, Gincana, most of these builds are Ones that I've done, a few in the center are ones that me, 𝗥𝗔𝗡𝗗𝗢𝗠 and Shallan did for another project that I was like, those will work. And then things like the Rusty Hotel and stuff like that, these are all completely new builds that I've done over here. Because I wanted it so when you're sort of over here at 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏's, especially when you have your chunk things turned up, you can see the city continue. In fact, let's just do that. Let's just whack our... Maybe not that high. My computer was set on fire. There we go. So I really wanted it. So like up here, when you look through, the continuation of the city is there. That was really... Hey Valhalla, welcome to the stream, man. Hope you're good. It was really important to me because it just looked like a void over there, and you know there was the awesome hospital of 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏's, this awesome side, but in the center was just this void. It was just this void of blue, and it was annoying me, and it seemed unfair to 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 for the amount of effort he's put in. So I was like, for 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, I'm gonna get on, and I'm gonna start doing a ton of builds. So everything that you see here has been done in the past, I think, 2 weeks. All of this here has been done in the past 2 weeks. And then there's the airplane up there. I know it's quite low. All right. Now, I know it's quite low. It's at build limit. I didn't think about it. All right. Now, I forgot that in season 3, we essentially are on top of a mountain. So we're quite high up. So I was like, I'll put an aeroplane there, right? Great idea. Add a bit of dynamic sort of thing into the world, make it seem like more believable, especially as a city. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏's making New York, which is based off of New York, and he's got a bunch of skyscrapers, and I've put a low-flying goddamn plane right there. So it's as high as I could take it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the landing gear on it, and then somewhere over here, we're gonna make an airport because I have to, because otherwise it seems off color, and that was not the intention. Somebody pointed it out to me, and I was like, shit, god damn it. But yeah, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏's area, super cool. This is obviously 𝗥𝗔𝗡𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, area, but I've sort of overtaken it. But yeah, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏's area, just really pretty. Big fan of it. Let's just go back to our video settings and turn that back down so I don't burst everything into flames. This bit that's down here that you can see this wall for. This is kind of what I'm trying to get my world to look like. Oh, yeah, it's doing like a city type of thing is challenging. Doing a city that's collaborative where people have taken different areas is backbreakingly challenging, as I've discovered. Trying to just blend in things. Everyone's done a really cool job with it. This here is going to be a big museum. I'm currently building one in a single player world. It's not ready to show yet. It's super early stages. But Magic's going to be doing the armor stand work, and it's going to be like the chronicle of it from like the very start of Randomcraft through. And I'm going to be recording audio clips that are going to be on record. So when somebody goes in and pushes a button for each display, it talks to them and tells them about all of the history of Randomcraft. That's what's going to be there. So this is the magician's area. And obviously, anyone that knows who Magic is knows you're in for some armor stand delights over here. It's just ideas for a museum type build. I love museums. I'm such a nerd, but I love museums. It's a thing that I'm really looking forward to, but I'm really looking forward to doing it with Magic. Just because, as I say, just his armor stand work. There's tons and tons. I can't even go through it all. I really can't. It's just so much. We have like One Piece and some Dragon Ball Z, and I think maybe Bleach, and they're chewing on some chunks of meat. I'll come back to this section in a moment. But the armor stand work over here with like popcorn machines and whack-a-mole, cotton candy, like a hooker duck thing. Just super cool. Looks laggy. No, it's not. Armor stands don't affect lag at all. They stopped affecting it, I think, in 120. So they're perfectly fine. I mean, there's thousands upon thousands of armor stands here. But yeah, they got rid of a lot of the lag for armor stands, and now obviously with Minecraft Java edition now using Vulkan over OpenGL, even less laggy. They're super not laggy now. Back in the day, yeah, maps are actually more laggy than armor stands, which is why we're careful with map art. Use too much map art like we did in Copperhead Creek in season 1. Oh boy, that ruined my PC, I'm pretty sure, back then. But yeah, he just so much. This is something he's working on at the moment. These actually dance. So these are animated. I don't know what the trigger point is or whether they just do it when it gets to midnight. Because I know there's a trigger thing at midnight where these go off and fireworks come up. So maybe they do it then. I'm going to put a custom music thing over here. Love those lanterns. This is part of 𝗘𝗡𝗘𝗚𝗓. That word? 𝗘𝗡𝗘𝗚𝗓? It's part of that. It's like a data pack that allows you to sort of make these things. Yeah, they're really cool. Big fan of 𝗘𝗡𝗘𝗚𝗓. But then he's got like a bunch of these stands. Oh, okay, are they dancing? Yes! There we go. So I'm going to do like a music thing over here. So when it gets to midnight, it plays some music because they do this little dance when it gets to midnight. And we've got like the guys up on the drums up there and stuff. Over here, I think there is like little symbols on a few of these that say who did them. I like this one here. How many mods are in this world? None. There's data packs, but they're not technically mods. We don't actually have any. There's only simple voice chat. Oh, and status. So that when if I was to do this and press tab, you can see that I have this little icon next to my image, and that's so that we can say whether we're recording or streaming, whether we're open or do not disturb, and if we don't want somebody to sleep. I think that's kind of it though. I'm pretty sure everything else is vanilla. So all of this stuff here. How are the lanterns 3D since they should be 2D when on armor stand? Now that's because they're not on armor stands. See, there is a thing. I wonder if I can actually. Can probably do it. I'll do it in single player, not here. But we have used it a bunch this season. Armor stands, yes, it would display as a 2D object. But armor stands aren't the best way to display stuff anymore. There's item display and block displays, which were added sometime in the 121 era. And it doesn't have... So if I was to go into spectate... Oh, that's the wrong key. If I go into spectator mode, you can see all of the armor stand stuff here, look. But there is no armor stands hidden here, because these are item displays. Or block displays. So they display the thing without you requiring an armor stand. It's less laggy than even armor stands because there's less entities, because it's just one. If you put a lantern into an armor stand, that's two entities, because there's the lantern and the armor stand. So it's technically 50% less entities as well, which is always a bonus. Any time where you can like reduce entities is always good. Not so much for the lag, more for the server CPU and RAM reasonings. So yeah, we've got Silver made this one. You can see there's these little symbols. Creamsicle made this stall. These three here are three of my stalls. I think so. Yeah, I think I said. Oh, I was saying Silver made this one as well. So yeah, there's like things that Magic has had other randoms do. I think there was. I don't know if he's removed it actually. Like I could have sworn it was here. There was like another stall outline of like, hey, does somebody want to do this? But if I go into the dojo, because I don't think this has been shown off since the beginning of season 3. When you go into the dojo, when you hit these pressure plates, they start fighting. I love this type of stuff of Magic. It's just really, really cool. And he's got like some sound stuff down here as well. This is like the little redstone circuit for it. So it like drops this down, and then when that despawns, it then will turn it off. Yeah, really, really, really awesome. And then the other side of Magic, we have Peanuts. Peanuts not done a great deal more than probably she's shown in her videos. She was doing this bathhouse from Spirited Away, or inspired by Spirited Away. So there's not a great deal to show over here, unfortunately. But hopefully at some point, this will get a bit more fleshed out. Oh, I skipped over Phoenix's. I'm so sorry. Because I followed the main road. This is Phoenix's area. We have some little factory housing down here, which is a bit... I don't know why it's destroyed, but it's destroyed. I've not been following any story stuff there at all. And then we have his factory, which is like his storage room. I hope one day there might be a video on how to do hanging lanterns and stuff with the displays. I may do that at some point. One of the things that I was hoping to make was like a book similar to the Armor Stands book that allowed you to summon and do item displays easy. Because it is a little bit complex, but it's not when you get used to it. So yeah, that's Phoenix's anyway. My bad. Didn't say I was leaving. And then we go across the bridge, which isn't connected because I'm still trying to figure out how to connect a essentially a 4-lane road into a 2-lane road on a bend, and I'm just not sure of how the junction would work for that just yet. But then we go across this bridge. Oh, if there's anybody here that is aware, I don't know if Golem's still here. But I imagine that Golem's probably the only one that may appreciate this. Me and Lagmonster made the Taskmaster house. And in season 2 we did Craftmaster. Some of the things need replacing, some of it's got a bit messy. But we have like the caravan and all of this awesome stuff here. We have the shed back here. And then if I go inside, let's just go into spectator a second. If we go inside and go into this room, because it does have all of the interiors and stuff of of Taskmaster. But in season 2, we did Craftmaster, where Lagmonster and I did challenges for the randoms as a live stream. It was like a birthday event. If I go down, we even have like the stage area and stuff. And Magic, it was a while ago now, but you may see your head in here because Magic asked for on the Randomcraft Discord, he asked for people's in-game names so that he could put them as the audience. So you may end up seeing your face in here. There's faces of many people in here. I know there's Minute Thread. There's Flames. Loki from Channel 64 is there. Gerald. Evie. So we've got lots and lots of really cool bits there. And then we have he was working on like the VIP area, and these were the Polymorph Panic from the first Polymorph Panic there right there. So yeah, all of that there. So this island is basically Craftmaster Island. We were gonna do it again this season, but we haven't got around to it yet. Whether we do or not, I'm not too sure. This awesome bridge was made by 𝗥𝗙𝗘𝗖𝗞, by the way. I love the way lag does bridges. And then we come to Random Land, which needs an absolute plethora of work. It's supposed to be like Disneyland type of vibe. We made these different biomes. So we had like the mushroom, then we had the forest, the sort of snow area, then we had hell and Halloween, and then the Mountain of Doom, the Volcano of Doom, and then we had the Badlands, and then there's a swamp bit down here, so that people could do themed builds. The only bit that's really had much done in it is the Christmas area. And a mini game of mine and a mini game of Lag Monsters from season 1 was brought over. And then this mountain bit, which has 𝗕𝗢𝗫𝗛𝗘𝗔𝗗 game underneath. Am I still in spec? Yes. Which, this is what the players will see. I'm not going to show too much off, just a few bits, but look at the work 𝗕𝗢𝗫𝗛𝗘 has done. Just look at it in here. It's so cool. If you want spoopy stuff, 𝗕𝗢𝗫𝗛𝗘𝗖𝗞's a spoopy boy. He does a lot of spoopy stuff. Just so much work. Not only has he done all of this and his base over the thing, but look at the redstone to make this game work. It's absolutely, it's ridiculous. It's so much work. And this wasn't enough. He was like, yo, Enigma, can you help me hollow a new section down? Because I need to put like a thing there. And I was like, how, my good boy. Jeez. Those weren't my precise words. I will tell you my precise words. When 𝗕𝗢𝗫𝗛𝗏 said that he was going to make this game, I didn't think he would get it done, because I didn't know 𝗕𝗢𝗫𝗛𝗏 that well. Not a great deal. And my words to him were, you're a fucking idiot. They were genuinely my words. I said, you're a fucking idiot. It's not going to happen. Now, and I've told him this, I think he's a fucking idiot for a different reason, because this is an insane amount of work. Like, I was like, I thought you were crazy. You're way crazy. Like, this is so much. I don't even know what some of this does. And I'm not bad at redstone. It's so impressive. I can't put into words how impressive this is from a redstone perspective. It's absolutely insane. I'm actually going to be working on an area over here. I don't remember where it is, but he was like, yo, Enigma, can you make like a thing? You promised you'd make a thing. And I was like, dude, yeah, I'm sorry. I disappeared. So I am going to be doing a thing over here somewhere. I don't know exactly where it is. I have it written down somewhere on Discord. Oh, it might be somewhere here. I have a vague recollection of this. Yes, it's here. So I've got this space to do something in. Make like a chamber within the game. And I'm going to do that at some point. Maybe I might even do that as a stream, you know? That might be a kind of cool thing. But I kind of want to surprise 𝗕𝗢𝗫𝗛𝗏. So if 𝗕𝗢𝗫𝗏 turns up, we'll have to be like, get out of here, you dumb cat boy. But it's such an impressive thing. Like, it blows my mind, the amount of redstone that's in there. And that's pretty much, obviously there's the industrial district. No one cares about the industrial district. They're the same on every server, I think. Any Java server that's an SMP has one. I don't think there's a need to go over there and look at it. However, I did say earlier I would go over to the trailer park. So we'll go over there. The trailer park, the trailer park was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this stage of Randomcraft. I guess it just... Oh, there's a little job hub. Job hub? Is that what it says? Job hub? Yes. Yeah, I really enjoyed over here as well. I think 𝗤𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 earlier was saying it was like one of his favorite parts of the season, because it was like so unique, and it was so off the cuff as well, because I think it's the only time where you as the viewers for a live stream said do this, and then I forced the randoms to do it. Because I think somebody on stream said trailer park, and other people said yes, and then I was just like, okay, well, that's what we're doing. So I was like, well, that's what's happening. Everyone's gonna have to get on board, because this is what's happening. So that's what we ended up doing, and I made Little Wang's ramen over here, with like this sort of like house on top of the thing, like, and then Lag Monster made the liquid girth truck, which has the vending machine. Which do I have? My sounds on. Into my settings. I think I do. Ah, it's turned down. There we go. Now you can hear the ambience of here. I'm gonna be naughty and just give myself a diamond a second, because I don't want to use one of my things when I'm in admin mode. So you put a diamond inside this, and I was super happy with this. And it should, hopefully... There we go.
Oh, hell yeah. Time to get girthy.
And plays plays my little audio recording. But you can hear the sound of the generators. Really, really cool. You can hear the sounds of hear the sounds of like the birds. There's like little banjo twangs. Oh, it's my hammer. And things. Just a lot of little sound design went into here. It's becoming night. Let's just do this. Let's just do that. Maisie did the pretzel shop and the floating thing. There was a truck down here. Liquid Girth is my favorite running law gag. Yeah, Liquid Girth started as like a joke thing that I said to Dolan in a Discord call, and I can't remember what it was about. And then it sort of became like this when it was around the time we were coming here, and then I knew that I was going to be doing the vending machine things. So I decided I'd make the because they're XP delivery, right? And then I decided I'd make those liquid girth because it's green orbs. So, you know, it's like Dolan's colors. It's like purple and green. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to run with that. And then I did the logo bit for it and just ran with it. And of course, because Dolan's such a Brolin, he was like on board with it. We did the posters and everything, and he came up with it. And I did like a bunch of different flavors. There was like sparkling eggnog, pumpkin spice, obviously after his cat and stuff, that I came up with and did like an entire like branding thing. And then we have Dolan's tent over here with his mayor. And then he's got his like wiener. Yeah, his wiener place. We'll pretend we didn't see the chickens in the thing to be killed. Nimral's tent, her little like sort of like a gypsy sort of tent thing. Silver's how to fried chicken trailer. Peanut's little stand there, and then yeah, this was Peanut's trailer, and then this one here was Cream's. Yeah, and this bit here was Phoenix's. He did also have a truck that was in the water. I'm even doing the Cabin in the Woods build with a massive sci-fi lab below it, like the movie had. Oh, I would say I didn't see the first part. I do. Now that I'm working on my own base, it's basically a rundown summer camp like you find in horror movies from the 80s. There's even going to be a trailer park nearby. custom forest build, even doing a cabin in the woods build. The massive sci-fi lab below it, like the movie had. That sounds really awesome. I'm a big fan of horror movies. So I'm game for that. Be sure to share screenshots of that because I will enjoy looking at them. And then this was 𝗟𝗛𝗚𝗏 Silver and Magic. That has their banners on the side, and they were doing something here. We cleared out all the trees here because we were gonna do like a summer campy area over here with like fishing things and stuff. But then everybody wanted to return back to doing their actual bases, understandably. There are so many dogs here. Whose are these? They're not mine. They must be Silver's. At some point, it'd be cool to flesh that out. And that's pretty much where we're at in terms of Randomcraft for season 3. Lots and lots of stuff has happened. Lots and lots of builds that I've done since I've been gone. This whole sort of city area is sort of like under development. I will try and get most of this done over the probably next couple of months. But now, I think it's probably time that I explain the future of Randomcraft. So, SMPs are normally seasoned. They've always been seasoned. We're currently in season 3. Seasons are something that happens with SMPs because they like to have a start point and an end point, of course. But also, the game could only really support so much, and then worlds used to get corrupted. And that just sort of stuck, even though that's not necessary anymore, right? That's not an issue now. You can have a world and it's perfectly fine. Since the flattening and all of that stuff happened, and all of the work that Mojang has done, there's no real reason to have seasons anymore. You could have a persistent world. Except you want a start point and an end point. So, for the past, genuinely, year, I think a year, it may even be slightly longer, 𝗟𝗛𝗚 and I have been working on a new idea. A new radical idea. Very radical. Very bold, I promise. Of just getting rid of seasons. I don't like them. I'll be honest, I'm not a huge lover of seasons. They kind of defeat the purpose. And one of the things that you will notice, bear in mind that this isn't everybody's full-time job. You know, Dolan is a weatherman. You know, Silver's a professional Canadian. 𝗕𝗢𝗓𝗓 used to work in a bomb factory. Legitimately, that was his job, by the way. I think now he's a mailman. 𝗥𝗔𝗡𝗗𝗔 is a manager. 𝗟𝗛𝗚 is a robotics and games development teacher. 𝗕𝗢𝗓𝗓 is an author. You know, we all have actual real-life things. The problem is, because it's not everybody's full-time job, or anybody's full-time job for that matter, we all work at different rates. Because I'm the fastest builder, I can get builds done the fastest out of all the randoms. So I tend to, like, just shower ahead. In fact, when I said I was returning to the randoms, the first thing that was said was 𝗕𝗢𝗓𝗓 said, I can't wait for the city to progress 3,000 years in the next 5 weeks. Because that's what I do. I build a lot. But we all work at different rates. And that means that, you know, some people feel like they've been left behind, and they've not. And whatever speed the randoms build at, I love all of them so much. I don't care. I really don't. And I would like to say that for you, the viewers, I should care, but I honestly don't, because the randoms are not just like random content creators. They're, you know, they're friends. I genuinely love all of them, and I don't want them to feel stressed or pull off or anything like that. So I decided that seasons needed to end, and as such, there needed to be personal seasons. Okay. That's where this portal comes in. If I go through this portal, we end up in a different dimension. Okay? This is Horizons. Horizons is a world completely comprised of islands. It's an endless world of varying different sizes of islands. We have small islands, we have big islands. This island over here, I actually have some serious plans for. But it's an entire world comprised of different sized islands, ranging from like 200 blocks to about 2,000 blocks. And the idea is relatively simple. Randoms get to decide on what island they want. So you might be like, I'm going to take this little small island here, this little cute boy. And this becomes, say, Horizon Summer Camp. And let's say Creamsicle takes it. She does Horizon Summer Camp. Then she completes it. Takes her 3 months. That's not the end of her season. It's just the end of her horizon. She then moves on to this island, bigger island. She does Horizon Dark Academia. That's her that personalized seasons. And the randoms get to move around, and as they do, this island world is persistent and it will just grow. There is a world border to make sure that on each update we can expand it out so we can get the new content islands. This does update to include them, so it should all be good. And that's basically where Randomcraft is going. Everybody is getting an island. Everybody gets one, although there is no limit. They can have more than one. Yeah, that was the idea, Mine Hero. It's not been done, and the reason it's not been done is just everybody is stuck in this old season thing. But unless you're, you know, Hermitcraft or one of these things where it's your full-time job, you work at different rates, and not everybody has the same amount of time to commit. Some people are on Randomcraft an hour a week. Others are on an hour a day. Others are on several hours a day. So we work at different paces because it has to fit around our lives. So one of the things that's important is to ensure that every random gets to work on their thing at their pace. And when they are done, if they do work fast, they're not like twiddling their fingers, waiting for everybody else to catch up to move on to a new season. They just move island. So their horizon changes. And that's why it's called Horizons. It's still Randomcraft, but it's Horizon. And the other thing that I'm allowing randoms to do, and I would like you as the viewers as feedback on this, because it is a huge change, and I do really respect that it is a big change, is I'm allowing randoms to self-moderate, to self-admin. What I mean by that is, if someone, so Creamsicle, or let's say Dolan could take this island here, and he could make 𝗕𝗡𝗅𝗥𝗑. He could also take this island here, and do a sci-fi island. This island he could choose to do in survival. This island he can choose to do in creative. So they're two separate things that he runs simultaneously. On stream, he might do Horizon, Anno 9014 or whatever. And that's his creative sci-fi. And then Horizon 𝗕𝗡𝗅𝗥𝗑 would be here, and that's his survival thing. And that's so that people can have the most creative fun as they like. Because at this moment in time, and for me personally, I just don't have enough time to really spend a long time in survival. You all know I can do it. Everybody knows I can do it. The randoms have been stealing from my storage system whilst I've been gone for the past 2 years. They've pretty much bled me dry because they don't want to do survival stuff either. They'd rather just steal the stuff I got in survival. They're very cheeky. But I don't have enough time to really spend a ton of time in survival just collecting things arbitrarily. At this moment in time, I'm, a new father and I have many things to do. But I also realize that pretty much everybody here, pretty much everybody under the sun, watches me for the sort of lore style buildings that I do. And that brings me to this island. This island is going to be an arcane punk island, sort of diesel punk meets magipunk sort of type of thing. So think Hellboy, Arcane, Deadlock, the new Valve game, or relatively new Valve game. And it's going to be called Vermilion. So this is my new horizon, Vermilion. Am I going to completely sculpt all of this? It's going to be all the trees are going to go. It's going to be completely sculpted and done. Mostly because it's a thing that needs to be sort of altered. This is a bit conflicting. Personally, I prefer a creative part to be in a separate world, but it makes sense to connect them in this way. Yeah, one of the problems with giving a creative thing its own world mostly stems from the randoms should be given free choice, and many people there's other people I want to invite to be able to come to Horizons. We're going to open it up to other builders, and regardless of whether someone is doing survival or a creative build, makes very little difference in reality. When you watch pretty much anyone, if I'm honest, content creator wise, but if you watch Dolan will be in creative in his single player world. He builds a building and you see him build that building. He designs that building. Then he just has to go and collect the blocks on Randomcraft to then just essentially use 𝗕𝗢𝗔𝗘𝗔𝗗 to 3D print it. You know he's built the build in creative mode. He's just essentially used a 3D printer to print it in survival. Randoms are still able to do that, but if they ever want to take an island to just use creative to cut out the middleman, either they don't have time, they can't mix it. They can either do an island in creative or do an island in survival. They can't trick viewers or anything like that. They have to be honest about it. That's why the self-administration comes in. They have to be honest about it and be like, okay, this is my creative island, Horizon this, and this is my survival thing, that's Horizon this. So they serve as separate entities anyway. They're just in the same dimension, but they are separate entities. There's no mixing and matching or anything like that. Because I don't want someone to be like, yes, I farmed all of this stuff, when they didn't. Would randoms get world edit and Axiom or just creative building? World edit, yes. All of the randoms have access to world edit already. Pretty much. Like Dolan has access to world edit, Shaolin has access to world edit, Nimrol, Lag. I think all of them do. But that's the thing. Since we started, pretty much everybody's always had the ability to do these things. It's just we know where the limits are, and it's you have to remember, if we lie to a viewer, that's on us individually. We respectfully, we don't want to hurt what we do. So although, Dolan has access to world edit and Axiom because he's an administrator on the server, you won't see him ever cheating or putting anything in. And as an admin, I check. We once did have somebody, and I'm not going to say who it was, who did have access to things, and they did cheat. Not massively, but they did cheat. And I'll tell you how. I'll show you how they cheated. Because am I in that mode at the moment? No. Yes, I am now. They had access to spec, and they used spectator to find things. And then when they got there, they went into creative mode, or survival rather, and then did the stuff. And I check the logs like a hawk, constantly. I take that type of stuff really seriously. And they were heavily told off. Everything, I basically took tons of stuff off of them. Yeah, they didn't last in Randomcraft as a result. But it's a thing that has happened once. But I do check. All of the randoms that you see who have access to everything, they just don't. It's not something that they're aware that it hurts them. Ultimately, it hurts them, and we're all like-minded. So it's one of those things where it's like they have never used it, even though they've had access to be able to use it for years. The only times you will see me or Dolan or Shallan teleporting around is because we do a lot of the administration stuff. So we have things like Cave Cleaner, for example, which is a thing that Shallan and I made where we can go into spectator like this, be like, oh my god, there's loads of zombies, and then we run Cave Cleaner and it gets rid of them all. So sometimes you might see a thing where it's like Enigma has ran this command, or Shallan has ran this command, or Dolan has ran this command on a person's stream, and it's just doing administrative stuff. But other than that, yeah, nothing else gets done, because we know that it essentially just hurts us. You know, any time that, and let's be brutally honest here, Minecraft isn't hard. It's not a difficult game. If I want iron, I make an iron farm, and after 24 hours, I've got more iron than I need for the entire season. So there's no need to cheat anything in, you know? It's really a case of how content is served to you guys as the viewers. It's fundamentally what I want the randoms to be able to decide upon. If a random wants to showcase and do tutorial type of stuff, and show you how to build a city or something like that, they can still technically do it on an island in Randomcraft, and it will stay there and be a thing. If I want iron, I just go mining. I mean, that's the other thing, like, even diamonds now are so much more common than they once used to be, that if you make a very simple flying machine to, you know, TNT out a tunnel, you can just get so much stuff. I mean, I don't know how much stuff is still in my storage room, because I say randoms genuinely have just helped themselves to many things. So I don't know how much is I have left, but as I have shulker boxes upon shulker boxes of various different things. Okay, I'm at Soul Saw's running a little weak. But we have many things. And it takes a short while to get. I'd spend maybe like 10, 12. I have something from Silver. 10 to 12 hours worth of like my little mining and farming expeditions and stuff. But for the most part, yeah, it doesn't really affect much. I doubt that many randoms are even going to ever use a creative island thing. But I can tell you why I was put into effect. This is why it was put into effect. Because I really missed 𝗕𝗚𝗚𝗚. And I know 𝗕𝗚𝗚𝗚 just doesn't have the time. And that's why he basically left, because he doesn't have the time. But I love seeing 𝗕𝗚𝗚𝗚's builds. Everybody loves seeing 𝗕𝗚𝗚𝗚's builds. 𝗕𝗚𝗚𝗚's a fantastic builder. He doesn't have the time to do survival-y stuff. I don't even know whether he's going to have the time to do creative stuff. But should he want to, I want to make sure that those people that have had life events that make them really restricted in terms of time don't feel like I can no longer be a part of this. Because they're my friend. Fundamentally, they're my friends. And I like playing with them. And as long as they're honest, which all of the randoms, you know, have always been with viewers, there's no reason to restrict them. For me, if they want to self-restrict, that's on them, but I want to give them the ability. And that's basically Randomcraft going forward. I'm super excited for Horizons. I think it's going to be a load of fun. I'm going to be working on Vermilion, and then if you're an overseer, you'll be aware that there's like some extra stuff that I shared to do with a central hub, which is going to be like a Tortuga, like a pirate island, that we're allowing people to like submit things to. That's gonna, so far that's Shalon, me, and I think Silver, although Creamskull said she was going to start looking at doing some stuff as well earlier, but I've told her not to stress herself out because she's super busy at the moment. And yeah, that's basically Randomcraft at this moment in time. I'm having this beautiful thing at this moment where my game crashes. Now, before we jump over to a single player, I'm going to take a little 5-minute break because I need to get something to drink. So I'm going to go to be right back. I'll be back in a couple of minutes maximum, and we're going to go into a single player build world, and I'm going to explain some things there. So I'll be right back.
March, the boxheads ride under Enigma steel command, with cardboard crowns upon our eyes. We fight as one across the land.
Glory to the boxhead state. We serve the box, we seal our fate.
One voice, one will, one mighty plan.
All hail the Enigmaman.
Drums of war and brass proclaim his wisdom, fire, and silent name. No tyrant stands, no traitor flees. We crush dissent beneath our knees.
Glory to the boxhead state. March in line and carry weight.
One fist, one truth, one cardboard brand.
All hail Enigmaman. No freedom lies beyond the box. No path but through the ticking clocks. Enigma sees, Enigma knows. The cardboard tide forever grows.
Raise the flag and bang the drum. The age of boxheads has begun. One dream, one box, one iron plan.
All hail the Enigmaman.
Okay. Well, we're back. Hey, I told you, only a couple of minutes. Just needed to get a drink. We are now in my build world. Hello, welcome. Hi. Hello. Hi. Hi. I don't care about the build tips. I'm just here for the Be Right Back music. Hey, Shelley, how's it going? I'm going to be back around later on. You better actually be around today, just so you all know. And I'm going to chastise him on stream, because you know what? Fuck this dude, right? I'm going to chastise him on stream. This guy who was like, hey, I'll be around at like 6 p.m. at the earliest, but I don't know yet. But 6 p.m. And then I was like, all right, cool. That was yesterday. Then at like 10:30, I was like, I'll be around between like now and maybe 11. And he was like, yeah, you know, maybe, hopefully, should be back by then. 1:30 in the morning. 1:30 in the morning, I was like, you know what? I can't stay up any longer. I have to go to bed. I need sleep. In fairness, he's a busy man. I'm not ragging on you too much, Alan. I know that. But it's the worst prediction yet of his really bad time management. He was like, yeah, 6 p.m, 1:30, 7 hours later, still not there. We are in my build world. This is where I plan many things. We're going to do some stuff on this build over here. It's an old build, an old apartment build of mine that I want to revamp. So we're going to use Axiom to do some gradients and stuff on there. Over here is some stuff that I was working on for some sort of rundown cyberpunk sort of stuff. This will eventually be a tutorial type of thing, like a little showcase thing, but I'm not really done over on any of this yet. But the first thing I want to do is I want to do diagonal letters. I've done some on Randomcraft this season, but I don't have anything in my build world yet for it. So I want to do the alphabet so that it's there and I can use it as a reference instead of me trying to figure it out every goddamn time I go to do it. This over here, just as a quick little thing, this is where I do all of my intros to my sci-fi videos. So if you've watched any of my sci-fi videos, you will recognize this alley. This is the alley I come down. This forced perspective, look, see? Forced perspective. Beautiful. But this is the alley that I normally come down and do my little intros for my sci-fi videos. Is that bit there. So that's like a stage area, I guess. There's the 𝗥𝗔𝗡𝗖𝗓𝗔𝗗 thing for the map art that I did here. There's many things here. There's my season 2 build in the middle. We have robots down here. Bunch of robots. We have artillery somewhere else. We have how I developed the 𝗕𝗢𝗏𝗏𝗡 airship is all here. Like all of like the, I guess, how-to stuff is here. Like me coming up with how to get that sort of rusty look of the airship, all the color palette stuff, sculpting it, and everything is all there. And there's the finished airship there, and then there's the stickleback and the man-o-war. And then we go into actual spacecraft stuff here, I guess. Ignore that. That's something that I was supposed to do and never got around to finishing. It was based off of the X-Wing from X-Men. I may try and finish that at some point. I did have a lot of fun doing it, and I think with a lot of the new blocks, I think I can do it even better. So we may end up doing something there at some point. But there's lots and lots of things here, you know, lots of planning bits and pieces. But oh, I've lost where I am. Up in this corner is where I have my color gradients that I sort of use, that I've come up with and stuff over the years. This is all of the color gradient stuff. Actually, you know what? Before we do the stuff, I'm going to explain roads. Because, as I said earlier on in the stream, I know that is something that randoms have genuinely struggled with this season a lot. So I'm going to explain how to... I should have done it a long time ago to the randoms, but one of the things that I often find, and this if a random is watching or watching the VOD back at a later point, the reason that I didn't is, one, I sort of forgot, and two, I wanted to see how they learned to do things. So obviously if I just taught them, all the roads would look the same. You know what I mean? And it would become quite homogenous in styling. And I really wanted them to sort of attempt to do bits, because the whole thing for season 3 was gradient in between our different styles. Anyway, enough of that. So roads. Central, I say central edge. The one side of the road edge, right? And then all of your roads should be 5 wide. Never do less than 5. The reason for that is when you do a car, they almost always 3. And when you're driving a car, it's not like it's like all the way up to the central reservation or all the way up to the edge. And 3 is pretty much the smallest you can make a car. I've seen a lot of people do 3 wide roads. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Please do 5s. Do 5. Enigma thanks you. Thank you. Then your central line. This could be 3 if you wanted. I'm just going to do the 1. This is where like your road dashes would be, you know. That's your central line. And then this is just one lane either side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then our other side. And then if I just take these a moment, and I just do / stack forward 5. It's 5 forward, isn't it? I did 4. That's fine. So this road should be, and I'll measure it using my wand, but this should be 13 wide. There we go. So this road is 13 blocks wide. The road edging, our lane, a central line, our other lane, and then our other edge, our inner edge or outer edge, depending on which way we decide to do our curve. So this is 13. And the mathematical equation for doing curves is actually relatively simple. So what we actually do, I will pull up my little sheet because I may actually send this in chat, or actually I'll share it on my Discord maybe after the stream. That might be easier. Is we take the width of our road, which is 13. Let me get some signs. I can write it down on signs. So we take, this is our total width, 13. So 13 equals total width. I'll put TW for that. So 13 equals total width. And our outer sort of quarter circle, if you imagine it as a full circle, so we're doing a 90-degree bend, it's total width times by 3. So we need to take our total width, which is 13, and times it by 3, which is a 39. So we have to imagine a 39 circle. Now, I tend to use plots for this because I find it's a very helpful site. It's 𝗕𝗢𝗚𝗔𝗗𝗓.co.uk, and then there's a thing called ellipse, and you can just do that and put it into 2D. You could also use World Edit, but I want to show you how to do it because if you're on Bedrock, you don't have access to World Edit, and you should know how to do it, you know, out. So using plots is better. You can pull that up on your phone or on your tablet. So from the central line on a 39, we go 5. So we're going to curve this way. So this is going to be our outer edge. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we have a 3, 1, 2, 3, and then a 2, 2, 1, and then another 2 there. And then we go 1, 1, and then 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, yeah, 2, 3, and then into our 5. So that there is our outer edge. That's total width times by 3, and we take quarter of that circle. So then what we have to do is we ignore this and we count from here to the central line, and it will tell us then what our central line needs to be. So it should be 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we take this. Let's just put that this side. Otherwise it's going to be confusing. So pop that there. Total width times 3. And then this here is our lane / center, and then we times this by 2, and then we deduct that from total width. Pretty straightforward stuff, right? It's pretty straightforward. So from here to here is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Times that by 2, that's 12. We then deduct 12 from our total width, which is times 3. Sorry, our total width times 3. So we deduct 12 from 39. So 27. So from here, we then go from this 1, 2, 3, 4. This is now a 27. So 4, 3, and then some ones. I think there's 4 ones, 5 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 3, and then 4. I may have got that slightly wrong. I'm going to double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 3, and then 4. Okay. And then for our inner one, we basically do exactly the same as this. If we take this mathematical equation here, lane center, this is inner edge, and it's times 2, and we deduct this from lane/center. So this is 27. I'll actually write this here. That's 37, you numbnut. 27. This one was 39. This number changes obviously depending, and this works for paths as well. This doesn't just affect roads, any sort of shaping you want. And then our inner edge times 2 minus our lane center. So 27, we know that this is 6 because it's the same. So we times that by 2, that's 12. And then we deduct 12 from 27, which makes 15. So we know that this is a 15 circle. And now all we have to do is put a 15 quarter circle here. So we go back to this, and our 15, it's 3. So 1, 2, 3. And then 2, 1, 2, then a 1, then 2, and then another 3. And that there, if we go up into our sky, is a perfect 90-degree angle corner. It's that simple. It's just maths. I hate maths, but it's just maths. And you can do this with anything. If you're just doing this size path, like a little pathway, it's exactly the same. You would just treat this, so your total width times 3, and then you would count your blocks in. So if your path was 4 wide, you would go in by 4, and then it would be 4 times 2. So 4 times 2 is 8. You would deduct 8 from 39, and then do that as a circle, and you could put another line in there, and well, that could be the edge, and that's your path. It's very, very simple. I could do very similar stuff with Axiom or World Edit or any of those things, but that doesn't teach you. And that's one of the things I want to share today, is some tips and tricks for building that aren't reliant on mods or the tools that builders use a lot. I already know that I'm going to be rewatching this part of the VOD so closely. Yeah, no, I am going to do a video as well, start on this specifically, on doing roads and paths and stuff as well. So if you can't find it in the VOD, that's fine. My brain won't let me do math. I'm very specifically wired for language, and that's about it. I'm exactly the same. I actually have something called dyscalculia or number dyslexia, but this is very simple because it's literally just times this number by 3, times this number by 2 and deduct from it, and then times this number by 2 and deduct from that. So it's sort of sequential. Very, very straightforward. You can do this type of stuff with World Edit or with Axiom or Fast Async World Edit, Go Brush, Archeon, any of those plugins. There's many, many, many great builder tools for building in Minecraft. And I love using them, don't get me wrong. They're fantastic, and please do use them. If you are on Java Edition, they do save time. But learn to do it yourself first. That's the one bit of information I'm going to give you. Learn to do it yourself first. Don't just jump in, learn how to do it using commands and so on, and never learn to do it manually. And I'll tell you why. At some point, and I'm not gonna name any names on any of this, because you all know me. If I'm not that way. But many years ago, I was doing a thing with other builders, and we had this bit where we were timing them. They had like 30 minutes or 40 minutes, I can't remember what it was, to do a build. but they didn't have access to world edit or any of that stuff. And people that were normally really, really great builders that shared stuff on Instagram and Pinterest and all of those places made the worst looking things because they didn't know how to do it themselves. They were reliant on commands. And there's nothing wrong with that, of using commands. But if you learn to do it yourself first, you'll have a much greater understanding of if a command does it not how you want. Because you learn. And that's a key thing. So learn how to do roads. Because if you're ever using Pocket Edition or playing Hytale or any other game where you don't have access to it, you know, it's good to know how to, you know. So I figured I'd share how to do roads, paths and stuff. I will also do a video on that. Now that that's done and you have learned from Enigma's knowledge, I'm going to come over here and we're going to have a little look at doing diagonal letters. Lettering is something that I find really interesting with on builds. I don't think I have the 𝗕𝗢𝗚𝗑𝗔𝗗 build in here, but they are something that I really enjoy. I really do enjoy doing. I think they're fun to give a build life when you have that sort of signage. And to do diagonal ones, you basically need to use walls. Is the way that I've found. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. Go there. And then this one here and this one here would need to become those. And you put that in there. And then these here become walls. See that? And then this one here and this one here. And then we have an A. And it will look like an A on all of our angles, but it's on a diagonal. I can't do them floating because the walls need to connect. I could have done it on glass. Also, having quartz walls would really be nice. I don't know why they left those out. You have everything else in quartz, but no quartz walls. That's an A. So we have an A. An A is always good. A B is going to be pretty much the same, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. They're just going to go 5 up. And then remove and remove that. Put that in there. And then that here. And here. And this bit down here would be mirrored, so it'd be there and there. And then this here would be block, and that there. Yeah, there we go. At some point, I like one of the things that I have an issue with, and I'm sorry, I know I jump around a lot. I'm frenetic with things. This might be an unpopular opinion, but diorite looks 100% better than quartz in almost all situations where you might want quartz. Absolute agree. One of the things that there was a period, it's luckily fallen away for various reasons, but there was a huge period of time where people would rag and sort of put diorite down because they were fans of Hermitcraft, and there was that whole thing with 𝗥𝗚𝗚𝗚𝗏 hating diorite. Diorite looks dope. If you know how, like me and 𝗕𝗢𝗘𝗘𝗔𝗗, it was a topic of conversation between me and 𝗕𝗢𝗘𝗘𝗔 for a long time. We both love diorite because for doing that gritty cyberpunk, it's so handy. Yeah, I think quartz looks too. It's got a pinkish yellow tone to it, like a almost shellfishy. I think it's probably the best way of me saying it. I'm not a huge lover of it myself, genuinely. So you will not get any disagreement from me on that. 1, 2, 3. And then this would need to be block here and block here, I guess. And that would be the same up here. You want to get that curve. And then wall, wall. Yes. See? Diagonal letters. They're not that difficult. You just have to merge walls and blocks. But sorry, I keep getting distracted. And this is what short-term memory loss is bad. Okay. Not all of my builds are in this world. I'm going to sort a real build world out and put all of my builds in there and do all of my stuff in that new build world, because this one gets cut off because it was from the old build server, and I need to make a new one from scratch is my point, and put everything in there appropriate. It's just not my favorite. To be honest, quartz is also way too hard to get for it to be worth using as much as some people do in the amounts they use it. Yeah, and I also agree with that. I feel like one of the... I've used quartz a lot in builds, but in terms of like it's a lot of going into the nether for a block that, and honestly now with calcite, if they would make it so you could polish calcite and do all of the stuff with calcite blocks like you can the new cinnabar and sulfur, if they did that with calcite, I would much prefer to be using calcite and diorite. By the way, how big are each of those squares and how thick are the lines between them? I think 7 in total. Let me just check. Technically there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. They are 10 wide, and I think each square is 128 by 128. I think. I don't know why I did corner to corner. I just need the straight edge. They're square. I'm not going to do more maths. Yeah. Give or take minus the road. So 118. 118 by 118. I had them like this because I found that it was the nicest way to grid out my world. Because I could combine them like I have here to sort of make like a larger piece if I needed. But it helped me for organizing because I could color code. I'm a bit funny like that. I'm a little bit strange like that. I like to color code things. Mostly because when I've got the map like this, it's nice to be able to just... I don't know what this circle was for. This big orange circle. That might have been for the original idea of District 5. The possibility that was for that. But yes, that's how big those are. Where am I? Where am I going? Ah, yes, over here. So yeah, there's a fair amount of space here, but I don't have all of my builds here. Like my swamp shack's not here. My main season 2 bases, but swamp shack's not there. I did builds over in the Emerald Outpost. They're not there. Not all of my robots are here, I don't think. Well, maybe they are. Maybe. Yeah, all of the cyberpunk stuff I did isn't in this world. Like all of the antennas and decor and stuff that I did isn't in this world. The holograms aren't in this world. The mover shaker's not in this world. My redstone shop's not in this world. So much just isn't here. And I'd like to have everything in one world that people can just download and access, stuff from. And I've meant to for a long time. And just never got around to it. And I had thought, I could maybe do that on stream, right? I was like, maybe do that on stream. That would be kind of cool. But then I realized that'd be like the worst damn idea because I don't know where half of it is. And it could just be me just getting annoyed, like, where the hell did I leave this? Where did I put this even? Like, I don't remember where any of this stuff is. So it would kind of just be an annoying stream to watch, I feel. So I haven't done that, but I do intend to get everything all in one world, because I respect and understand that it is super annoying that sometimes people want a build world from me. And 𝗕𝗢𝗫𝗛𝗘𝗔𝗗 chastised me a good couple of times of like, you know, you need to stop spreading all your stuff out. And it wasn't that I was ignoring him. It was just that I kept forgetting. I'm going to set something that might help organize my stuff at least a little bit. Yeah, I like to be organized, but I do a lot of building with other people. Like I'm a very social person. So like, for example, if I just quick to type a second, if I go here, if I go to 𝗥𝗔𝗡𝗘𝗖𝗞, this here is where the 𝗕𝗢𝗥𝗘𝗚𝗠 is. It's also where you'll see the Citadel of 𝗕𝗢𝗠s and his big mansion build, and a bunch of other stuff, because like I would just build in the worlds with other people. So this is the center of 𝗥𝗔𝗡𝗘𝗖𝗞. So there's the 𝗕𝗢𝗥𝗘𝗚. There's 𝗕𝗢𝗫𝗛𝗃 Redstone, and this was me doing the shaping for 𝗕𝗃 Redstone. And the clock down here with all of its redstone. So that's just in this world. The little like cathode tubes. And then I think the Gymkhana build is on here as well, right? Yeah, down there. Even the letters, look, the letters were originally here. Road thing, like just, yeah, that's the Gymkhana build, right? Because what would happen is these were on servers that Lag and I owned, and we'd have these things, they're plotted out, and we would get on and we would just sit and talk like I'm talking to you all now, and build together. But there was multiple worlds based on what themes were being done. As a result, I have multiple worlds. I actually, just going back a second, a bunch of my stuff was originally in this world. This is the sci-fi world. This is when me and 𝗕𝗢𝗫𝗛𝗚 would build. So these are a bunch of 𝗕𝗢𝗫𝗛𝗚 stuff. If you watch his videos, you'll have seen them. Like this build here was a thing that he made based off of my 𝗥𝗔𝗡𝗔𝗗. And things like, so this is where me and 𝗕𝗢𝗫𝗛𝗚 would build for the longest time. Even so, if I press the thing, you can actually see the outlines of where old builds were that have since been moved to other places. But yeah, that's so I've been trying to move things around. I forget a lot. That's my excuse. That's what I'm sticking. So the F is just the same as the E, right? But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then remove 2 and remove 1. Pretty sure that would give us what we're after. And then just all 1, 2, 1. But the reason that I'm doing this is because I've been doing a lot of diagonal builds in Randomcraft this season, as have the other randoms. And if anybody here has tried to do diagonal builds, they are very different, because a lot of like window detailing and stuff kind of becomes very different and very tricky and confusing. So it can be a little bit disorientating when you're doing it. I've been trying to get a few more ideas of things that would be on diagonals. Because it's one of those things of like, if you're okay, if you're not paying good attention, I feel like you can like if you're not paying good attention whilst doing diagonals, they end up looking really bad. like really, really bad. Like I've been building for years. I still have to really focus when I'm doing diagonals. I'm sure that doing, using something like Axiom and stuff like that is probably going to be really helpful. I've not used Axiom all that much. And I think I actually have it on my docket, that like, I think one of the things I'm going to start regularly doing streams for is just going through Axiom. But I think we're going to do half this alphabet. I think we're going to get to like M or just before M, and then we're going to jump, because I really do want to work on that. It's annoying me that I started to prepare for it to be worked on and just didn't finish. Story of my life. I think it'd be 2 there. 2 there. And then it's just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then that goes there. Yeah, working in these. The J, I think, needs to be like that, and then block. Line. I think that's right. Maybe that. No, that looks too. So J. Okay. K's are always tricky. 3, 4, 5. We know it has a stick, right? That we know. And we know that they have another little bit coming from there. So then I guess there. And then wall. What do we wall? Wall there. And then maybe wall. No, that's not right. Maybe it's just wall there. Okay. I'm okay with it. L's going to be nice and simple. That's a nice easy one. Okay. And then M's going to be more tricky. But I'm happy with the progress. We do have diagonal letters. Has anybody here done any diagonal letters? Axiom is great for cutting out some of the busy work without needing to memorize 100 commands. Yeah, I've used it a little bit. I'm not like a complete Axiom virgin, but I've not used it a great deal. But I have used it a little bit, so I'm not too bad, but I could be better, I'm sure. But I think sort of doing like maybe like a stream every couple of weeks, like an Axiom day. I must axiom you a question or something. I might just name it that and just keep that terrible pun just as a permanent thing, just to remind myself to never speak again. Okay, so colors. There's 2 colors on this. What color scheme should be? I'm going to do a gradient. I want there to be 2 gradients, right? One for the inner green and one for the outer red. So it's going to be a 2-tone build. Technically a 4-tone build. Color to color for one and then color to color for the other. I'm just trying to think of which of these to use. We could take the greens. I love the problem is I've used green a lot. I shouldn't use green. You know, these ones here might be pretty good. You know, the red through to blue. Does use diamond ore, which is an expense, but I do have a lot of it on the server. mostly because me and 𝗕𝗢𝗫𝗚𝗠𝗦 would use it a lot for graffiti and stuff, right? So this color scheme's alright. It's a bit different. This one's nice. I like that. Choices. I've not done this sort of black to yellow in anything, actually. I'm not sure which of these to use, whether it'd be this one or this one. Although this would end up with a glow, so probably not that one, probably this one. That might be a contender. That one's 𝗕𝗢𝗫𝗛𝗡𝗖𝗓. But then I don't know what color really goes with the that yellowish tone. Like you can't do yellow and pink. That's like rhubarb and custard. I do like this purple to pink, but I feel that's super like vivid neon. This is where my choices. This is where I spend the most of my time, is just sitting here and staring at this. It might be cool to use sulfur. Where would sulfur? Because I've not used any sulfur stuff yet on the server. I've collected a bunch, but I've not really used it. This feels like it probably sits somewhere in these spectrums. Maybe not, though. It looks like it sits more around these spectrums. I don't have any endstone stuff. That's what I feel this sort of reminds me of the most, is endstone. It's like a dark endstone. Yeah, it's a similar vibe. Not the same color. But it must be somewhere along these, right? Yeah. So similar to the bamboo tones. Probably sponge as well. No, more bamboo. Okay. 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 Yes. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure whether I'm going to use... How much dark? Oh, that's quite a bit darker. That's much more like bamboo, isn't it? Except bamboo has these green tones in here. And this has like the red tone thing. So this would probably sit somewhere nice around these sort of bits. No, because it's more pale. It's not as vivid as this. Yeah, I think that sits fine, though. If I move that there. Okay, that one. Leave that there. I don't think we're going to use sulfur. I feel like having a nice vivid color would be nice to have on this build. I'm just trying to think of which color to go with. I'm starting to think like a nice sort of like one of these sort of things, or like the red, because that's like the exteriors, like this sort of monochromatic going up, and then something like this for the greens, because that's like an inset, so it ends up being like a black and purple to pink and gray. And then we could use like cherry blossom things in there. It'll be a very sort of yeah, we're going to try that. I've talked myself into it. We're not going to use that though. We'll use from, yeah, we'll start from here. So that one, that one, that one, that one. And from there, we're going to bypass and go into these. We're going to skip over... actually, we won't skip over that. I think that might be enough. How many of these do we have? Because I need them to be sort of similar. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So we could do with one extra... No, I've decided no. I've decided no, and there's nothing you can do to change my mind. Right, let's take these down. Oh, because I have Axiom, I can use the this. I can pop them in here, and then I don't have to come back up. See, I'm still learning Axiom. All right, and then we want this color scheme. So blue terracotta, purple concrete, purple wall, powder. Oh, actually, we don't need to put those in there. Okay. And then we're going to go back down to there. That's where it's at. Yeah, so I'm thinking like the red will go in the one, and then everything that's green will go in this color scheme. So we've got like the monochromatic with a splash of color. Alright. There's probably an easier way of doing a lot of this stuff with Axiom. I am aware of that. One thing that I will do is I am going to be using Axiom for this to do the gradient, but I am going to explain gradienting in general for anybody that doesn't use, you know, Java Edition real quick. So please bear with me if you're sticking around for Axiom related stuff. To do gradients in survival, you're basically making bands first. 1, 2, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3. So you see this here, and then you just move to the next one. And I know this technically isn't a gradient because it's banded, as opposed to it being... I'm not going to do all of these colors. I'm just going to go up to there. So what you need to then do is you need to start... I'll start from the top because I've done one less there, I think. And then we blend down. So that we'll remove this one, this one, this one. And then here we'll remove there and there. And what I call these are erratics. So if you're aware of any sort of geology sort of things, there's a thing that exists called a glacial erratic. It's where a stone or a big boulder is just seemingly in a random place. And it's normally because during the Ice Age, it got moved by a glacier and then ends up there. There was no way of it getting there, but it got swept along with the glacier. And you'll often find them in very sort of U-shaped valleys, shallow U-shaped valleys. So I tend to call these erratics because that's what they are. Then you're moving them to a new place. That's basically gradienting in a nutshell. You're just moving stuff around to create that blend between things. And that's what we're going to be doing on here, but we're going to be using Axiom for it because it's, well, it's faster. In short, it's faster. So we have these. We're going to hit Shift, and there is a gradient painter here. And then we have to select our blocks. What would be good is if I can see them, because my memory is that bad. So I'm going to stare at them. So we have deep slate, and then into deep slate, like deep slate brick, and then from deep slate bricks into just straight deep slate. Yeah, it's deep slate, not cobbled. And then into tough, and then into cobblestone, and then to stone brick, like over. I'll do. And then into stone, and then into andesite. And there might be faster ways of doing a lot of the stuff that I'm doing, by the way, in Axiom. If there is, I apologize. I am still learning it. And then we need a tool mask for the red, which I already have open. And in there we type in block equals red underscore wool, and there we go, that's our tool mask. And then we want linear, and we're going to just create a random seed, and let's set our size up. Makes very little difference other than the fact we want to cover the entire thing. And then all we have to do is we click from here to here and then go down. and that will paint our gradient in. So it's doing basically what we just did by hand, but obviously much quicker. And normally I will still go in because there's still bits on this where I'm like, and it also doesn't do these bloody here. I'll be real, you've already gotten farther than me. If you can do tool masks, I still can't figure those out. Tool mask, up here on the tool masks, like edit, it brings up this window. You have to leave it open. If I close this, tool mask no longer worky. And then you just type in block equals, and then whatever the actual name is, or whatever it is you're doing. So the actual namespace for it, so red underscore wool, or if, because I'm going to be doing the lime wool now, it'd be lime underscore wool, and then it pops up there. You can also, once you've done it, click on it and change it this way. Once you've done it once, so you don't have to retype it out. I just tend to, because I have a thing for namespaces and remembering them. And then you can minimize it. Just don't close it. If you click X, no longer work. Yo, Stonechief, how's it going? The goat came back. I would make a goat noise, but I'm only just rehydrated. But welcome to the stream. So that's how you use a tool mask. And then we need another one, because there's 9 and 8 of the other. That's blue terracotta. The blue terracotta I used a load in season 1, and honestly it baffled me because it's purple, it's not blue. And then purple concrete, right? Purple, you know, purple. Purple wool, purple concrete powder, pink concrete, or magenta. There isn't a magenta. I think there. Yeah, no. It's been a while since I've done my it's been a while. Then I'm guessing. Oh, it actually doesn't. Okay, so that just goes into concrete powder. That looks goes into magenta concrete powder, then into pink, then pink wool, then pink. My lord, who came up with color palettes long? It was me. I'm the idiot. And then pink, a concrete. Why did you disappear? I had a child. So I actually got ill first. I was having some heart problems. And the hospital said, okay, you have some heart arrhythmia. Don't get stressed. That was their words. They were like, just you need to take it easy. You're overly stressed. Don't be so stressed, bro. Chill out. I was like, I'll chill out a little bit. I'll ease up on my content a little bit. I passed a lot of administrator duties to 𝗥𝗔𝗡𝗔𝗗 and 𝗕𝗢𝗓, and then was relaxing a load more. And then my wife came home and she was like, I'm pregnant. I was like, the doctor told me I needed to not be stressed. How dare you do this to me? So then I was away because I ended up having a baby. But she's now 18 months old. So I am back. Right. We already set our tool mask to be lime wool, right? Yes, we did. Now I'm going to randomize the sea because I don't want it to sort of really mirror. I don't want it to like hyper mirror the sort of layout of those. And then we just need to bloop, 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 bloop. You know, maybe doing it the other way around might have been better. Oh no, I feel like this might be, I feel like I might have got the colors the wrong way around. I thought there was more red on this than green, but in hindsight, it actually looks like there was more green on it than red. There's more of these color bands. That's the wrong one. Hold shift. Go around to the front. I've got to ignore the white bit. Yeah, I think I did this the wrong way around, you know? I think I should have done it the other way around. Alright, let's Control Z. Buggeration. It genuinely looked like there was more red to me. That is on me. Let's change this to be red wool, I guess. There we are. And then try that again. You would try that again. Yeah, that looks better. My bad. Yeah. Oh, helps if I get it right though. Yeah, tool masks are super helpful. Star. It was like the first, because I'm used to Go Paint and Go Brush. Oh, I've got to redo that again. Ah, goddamn fish tits. All right. Okay. Deep slate. I came from using Go Paint and Go Brush and stuff. You may have as well, to be fair. I'm not too sure how in the builder sphere. But they were like the sort of things. They're made by Arcanics, I think. They're like paper / spigot plugs. And they're really, really good. And I genuinely really love them. But they kind of have been replaced now for Axiom. Axiom's like an all-in-one. It's like a replacement for all of those things. It does some things worse. If I'm honest, then Go Paint and Go Brush and Archeon and stuff, it's not quite as good for all of it. But it handles all of it. As opposed to you needing like several things. And also, they only work on servers, not in single player. That's the other thing to bear in mind on that. So, although they are good, they're paper spigot plugins, so you kind of have to have a paper spigot server, which you can obviously still set up on your PC yourself, I guess. But also did I let it guck up? I did. The other thing is that Archeon you essentially kind of have to pay for through Arcanix's Patreon. It is worth it, but you'd have to pay for it. I haven't said that you have to pay for Axiom as well if you're using it on a server, I should say. You get, I think, 30 days for free, right? With Axiom. And then you basically have to pay for it to use it on a server, unless you can prove that you're not using it for commercial purposes. I still have the toolmaster done. And then you have to go on their Discord and get whitelisted for 90 days at a time. So I just bought a commercial license because, let's be honest, I do technically, although it's not much, I do technically earn some money from builds and stuff. So if I end up using Axiom for those, I feel like it's only fair that the developer should get paid for it. So I do pay now a subscription to Axiom. And I'm fine with that. They have to earn money, and it's only fair. If I'm earning even like a cent, you know, from the being able to do stuff as a result of what they've done, it seems fair. It's a colourful boy. I don't know whether the purple to pink is really the best choice. I actually think that red to blue might have been better. Yeah, I think that red to blue would have been better. Coronation. Well, this is the one thing I do love about Axiom is the ability to do that, which is a pain to do with world edit. It's a real nightmare doing that stuff with world edit. I prefer fast async world edit, but again, that's only available for paper and spigot, not as a mod. I really like the purple to pink. Oh, you do? Maybe I'll leave it then. It's not really my vibe, but it is going. It might be because it's in isolation as well. Because it's, you know, it's just on its own. There's a redo. Yeah, sometimes I just need to sell longer. I will pull it back. I will pull it back. There we go. I do need to change these. It doesn't like handling the bits under slabs, I've noticed, or that's going to be a problem. I've noticed. I may need to use wool in those. That's fine, though. I'll do that at some point. That's going to do the same. Let's get some wool now, I guess. What I could do, I can't remember the command for it off the top of my head. So let's just pause one. There might be a way of doing this in Axiom, but I know that there's a way of doing it in World Edit. So pause two. I think it's like / replace magenta concrete powder above air with magenta. Oh, I could have sworn it. Maybe that's a fast async world edit thing as well. It's also been a while since I've used. That targets it. Oh. Thought it was. Yeah, this is where Axiom does become better than, because World Edit has so many commands, and I don't ever remember them all because of my memory loss. So, well, figure out how to do that. It is this. If I just did that with. Oh, I wonder if I have to use math. Let's try that. It will either break everything or be fine. Wool and then -m for math, and then do air. Too many arguments. Oh, maybe it's just m air. No, you can't do. All right. Well, let's just replace all of them for now. It's not that much of a color difference anyway. For simplicity, and then yeah, we'll do the same. Yeah, we'll do the same with the pink. Well, I know I could go through and just put string underneath or buttons or some other things, but I'm feeling a bit lazy, so I'll just manually put in those colors just so we're not fighting that repeatedly as I put these things in place, because I feel like that will get old quick. I'll ignore that. Yeah, anything that doesn't have a full block underneath it or next to it, it doesn't replace. So that's something to bear in mind with Axiom. And again, there might be a way of doing it. I'm just not sure of. But that does seem to be an issue. And then these here, they're now technically on the ping. But we might still be able to get away with that. We might be able to use crimson. We're not going to be able to use red. We could use purple as well. We'll have a little look here. So we could put these as... Well, that's a fucker, isn't it? Let's just... That didn't happen. What are you talking about? Not even an issue. No, it didn't happen. Shh. Okay. So we could use those. You kind of like that. That kind of reduces some of the harsh impact of the color as well. These are going to drop out the sky when I do it there. Just get some string for now. I know they wouldn't all be in tiles, by the way. I would mix it up with a brick probably, and then make it get light when it goes up to mirror the thing. Kind of like it like that. I don't think, now that I'm looking at it, I don't think crimson's going to work at all. It's all right, but I prefer the dark, and I never tend to like purple. It's a bit of a weird block purple for me. Yeah, I prefer the dark. Okay, that answers that question. So that we'll go with these, and then we'll make it progressively get lighter as it goes up at some point. But for now, we can just actually we already have the area selected. Just do polish? No, slab. / replace quartz slab, and the type is upper top, with deep slate tile. Actually, we can do a thing here. We can do 50% deep slate brick slab type top, and then 50% deep slate tile slab. Of course, that's going to force update all of it. Yeah. I'm going to have to do a ton of work on this now. It's all collapsed. Yeah, I should have replaced all of the concrete powder, or at the very least, turned off the ability for blocks to drop. I didn't think it through. But I do think that will help a lot. Oh, I didn't set the things to upper either. Should be type top. I always call them upper and lower, and it's top and bottom. I don't know why I do that, but I do it a lot, where I call them by the wrong things. So all of that has to be repaired. Many repairs in many places. There we go. You know, if they would have fallen one block further across there, I probably wouldn't have noticed it. And it would have ended up staying like it. Kind of fortunate, I guess. I kind of like that shape that it's cut out though there. I might do that alternating up. Like that one has, this one has the thing, this one has a gap. This one has a thing, so then this one would have the gap. Oh, I think that is how it... No, it's not. Oh, no, it is. They did work like that anyway. I'd already done that. I'm just repeating my previous work. There. For some reason, I'd forgot that they do that, and I just thought it went all the way up. That does help me spot where the errors are, though. That's eventually going to become our new apartment bit. I don't know where that's going to go on the server yet. Obviously somewhere around where Dolan and Lag's area is, and that like city area. Not too sure exactly where. Actually, it might not. It might go up in the other bit, because it does look a bit more like a tenement office building. Right, that might end up going further up on near where Central Park and stuff is. Doing some graffiti on the side there as well at some point. I do like that coloring. The purple to the pink I wasn't sure of at first, but you know, it's all right. It's growing. It's growing on me. Slowly but surely, it is growing. Yeah, I can go with that. The other thing that I think is important when you're doing a build world, gridding out is super helpful. I would definitely always recommend doing something along those lines. There's a tool that's very helpful for it called MCA Select. Because I didn't build every single one of these things. I think I did like 4. And then what I did with MCA Select is I was able to select those chunks and then duplicate them, just like add them across. It gives you like a top down. I'm pretty sure that's what I did, if I remember correctly. The new build world is going to end up looking different to this. This was a pretty early on thing. I think I did this maybe like the end of season 1. It must have been, because it has my season 2 build there. And I think that was like the first thing I did. So it must have been the beginning of season 2. I don't even know what this is. Oh, it's my hangar. Yes, at one point I was making a big space hangar. And never finished it. I do this a lot where I start doing something. That's the other reason I need a new build world. Because I start doing something and then I forget. I forget instantly. I leave the area and it's gone. Like I've got loads. Yeah, I've got loads. I was making an egg. I don't know why I was making a giant egg. Why was I making a giant egg? I don't know why I was making a giant egg, but I was making a giant egg, all right? And there's actually, do you know what? I'm gonna see if I can find that world real quick and move it across to here. Because there is other builds. If I go here, if I just create a new world a second, so I can destroy it. If I call this Aku 17. That's all. We're not going to be in this world. I just need to create a world so I can overwrite its regions. I'm not going to explain how to do that, though, today. If anybody is ever curious about it, I will maybe do a short video on it at some point. But what I am going to do is I am going to steal its regions. The true British colonial way. So I want to go into here, into here, into here. into save and find 𝗥𝗚𝗘𝗖𝗓𝗏. Go into dimensions, Minecraft world, and then I also need to open a new window, and then go into my storage drive, into here. It should be in here. Yep, there it is. I want to take redeploy entity data, copy those, put those. Will take a moment because it's a large world. I've been recreating it using Axiom, the world, that sort of grid thing. It's super helpful. I do recommend it. So now 𝗥𝗚𝗬𝗓 isn't that world we were just in. It should have been replaced. I may fall through the sky. I will fall through the sky. Wow! So this is a lot of stuff that was done in season 1. You'll actually recognize those two builds from Lags and that one there. But I was working on this steampunk airship. I don't think this has ever been seen before on stream or at all. But I was working on this big sort of, yeah, this big steampunk airship thing, which I really would like to finish. Has like these patchwork things and stuff. Had this clock on the top, which I could actually make a working clock now that I have that redstone thing. There was also these sort of like mage towery, industrial mage towery things that I was working on. Yeah, lots of this is where a lot of stuff for Copperhead Creek was formed, like the lighthouse that I made and stuff. Where the stickleback was made initially. Bunch of redstone machines. Not sure what all of that is. Yeah, this is what I mean. I have many build worlds. Not all of this is mine. That's something Magic and Lag made. Don't remember who did this. To be honest, it looks like something Magic would have done though. I don't know what that is either. That was definitely Magic's rig gas thing. This is Lag Monster's castle from season 1. Yeah, there are tons and tons of bits here. Oh, this was like a decor. Did anything ever get put here? Oh, it did. It was like a decor thing that I was doing. Just sort of like microwaves and things like that. Eventually I'll do a video on this type of stuff. I was meant to several years ago, as you can see. I just never did. Some house moving castle stuff. Yeah, this is where Shallan was learning to build. This was like early Shallan stuff over here. That's the Hell Tree from season 1. This was the Nether Hub from season 1 that Nimrel and I made. But yeah, I should really continue the thing. This is a thing that would happen a fair amount. Like, we do a ton of building together, and then we kind of formulate an idea for Randomcraft from that. Like, I think I built, I don't even know if it's here, to be honest. That might have been something that I'd built elsewhere. Oh, that's one of Lag's. This is his manor house from season 1. I know it's somewhere around. I don't remember where, but it's somewhere. But yeah, there was loads and loads of stuff that got made, and then we ended up sort of like forging things around that. So that was like sort of the thing. We're gonna go have oh yeah, you two start. Have a nice time. We ended up doing like we'd do stuff in here and then be like, oh, that'd be really fun to do, and then we kind of like develop it on these build worlds. But as you can see, it's super messy. It's a super messy build world. I had a thing over here that I'd started to play around with of like actually showing how ships were made type of thing, like making like a dockyard where someone was making a ship. This was inspired by the raptor pens from Jurassic Park, and then I saw Sire. If you don't know who Sire is, look up 𝗕𝗢𝗫𝗚𝗠𝗦 on YouTube or Instagram. I don't think he does much in the way of Minecraft nowadays, but yeah, I started making this and then came across his Instagram and saw that he'd made one. I was just like, well, I may as well stop. There's no point. I can't improve that. It's fantastic. And just stop. Literally, I did this and then just never touched it because I was just like, well, I can't improve on that. That looks beautiful. And I think I messaged him and was just like, I love this. I'm very upset that you've done it because I just started to do one, but I can't improve that. It's so nice. Congrats. This was something else I was working on at some point, apparently, making wells and stuff. I'm going to recycle some of that. I have an idea for some new content. So all of that will end up getting reused. Don't know what this is. Still don't know what this is. It's ominous. Ominous is what that is. So yeah, there's builds everywhere. Like they're not all just in one world. Someone was actually asking about this on the Discord. This is an old sort of steampunk train. I'm not going to show it too much because I'm going to be doing a block overhaul on that and actually using it. Or something. Yeah, loads and loads and loads of stuff. So I do want to try and consolidate all of that stuff down and eventually put all of that properly onto a solid build world, because my build worlds are messy and I'm aware that they're messy. I have some letters over here. Oh, I must have letters everywhere. Oh, that was me doing the random times sign. Oh, it's there. Random times. I like this. I clearly didn't ever finish it, but I like it. Many things that I've just not got around to finishing. I will. That's going to be my goal. It's just to finish things. Right. It is nearly 8 PM my time. So I've been streaming for nearly 3 hours. I am going to call it, I think. We've done some stuff you've seen around Randomia. I've showed you how to make perfect roads. I've explained gridding out worlds. I've shown you how to do alphabety stuff, alphabety spaghetti things, diagonal text. I'm going to field some questions between this stream and the next stream on things that people might want explaining on the next stream, because I think doing these sort of like, hey, here's some build stuff and here's how to use this and how to do that, I think that's kind of a fun thing to do, and I always want people to get better at building anyway. Not because it annoys me, just because, you know, I like to see people progress. So I'm probably going to ask some questions maybe on the Discord of like, hey, what would you like to see in the next thing? I hope you've all had fun. I'm sorry that I was gone for so long. I do intend on coming back properly. I have ideas for new content that I just need to work on. I don't know if there'll be any new Randomcraft episodes as such until I'm working on Vermilion. But some build streams would be good. I didn't get around to it today because we rambled on for too long talking about lots of other things. But I want to do a second update. I guess the first update. A continuation of the Cyberpunk decor pack. I've got some ideas for like more satellites and more greeblies, as they get called, for attachments for different things. And then I also want to do a new series looking at villagers. Well, I'm not going to explain as to what that is, because it's an old idea that I at one point I gave to Lag, and he never finished it. I don't think he enjoyed doing that type of video. So I've taken that idea back, and we're going to do it. Yeah. So I've got a lot of that stuff to do as well. I hope you've all had fun. It's been really nice to catch up with people. It's always fun to catch up and see what people have been up to. If you want to get in touch with me, you can do so on Discord. I don't think the link is down there, but you can find it on my channel. If you want to see more great sci-fi builds, let me know. I've got a bunch of tutorials that are up on YouTube, and if you want to see more great builds by the randoms, which of course you do, down in the description there is access to all people's channels. I really highly suggest checking out 𝗔𝗔𝗓𝗏 if you're interested in redstone, because he has learned tons, and also obviously 𝗕𝗡𝗜𝗚𝗠 doing tons of great work on the city. And yeah, I will see you at some point in the very near future. Thank you all so much for watching again. I genuinely appreciate I know that it was a slightly quieter stream than normal, but I've been away for over a year. That's understandable. Genuinely appreciate you all tuning in, though. Genuinely. So thank you. I hope you all have a lovely evening, and I will see you later. Enigma out.